Welcome back to another episode of Purely Awesome Dads. Happy New Year, everyone. I am your co-host, Jeff Haberly, along with
Justin Fruist. Dude, Jeff, happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that stuff to you, to our audience. And as usual, I want to start off with what we've done awesome, pass it off to you, and get this whole fun 2022 started. So real quickly, what I did that's been awesome so far is I'm training to be a cycle instructor with CycleBar, and I'll tell you, it's much more in depth than I thought it was going to be. I have to do basically 3 songs every 4 days. I do submissions. I have to take written exams. I mean, it's like being back in school, dude. So the break was not so much a break for me. It's been fun. In fact, tomorrow I've got to go in and record another set of videos, but it's something that's totally outside my comfort zone, very fun, and it's something that I've done that I consider to be just awesome all the way around. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to you. What have you done that's awesome?
That's good, man. Yeah, so it's good to be back. Recording, new year, fresh start here. And yeah, so one of my recent things I did that was awesome, was kind of on a whim, on short notice, was decided to take the kids skiing. And in Arizona, of course, in the desert here in Tucson, it's, we got to drive a few hours to go skiing. It's not like I know they have Mount Lemmon up here, but rarely open, and it's not that great. So we got to drive about 4 hours, right? So it's not like you just off the car. You got to get a hotel. You got to, plan all that stuff out, get lift tickets ahead of time and all that. So I usually take the kids up once or twice a season since they're really little, just to more maintain and keep, that skiing practice going. So they can ski when they're adults too. It's a lot easier for them as kids. And they had a huge snowstorm up there around Christmas. So amazing powder, amazing snow. And our oldest son, he's already back in school, this week, first week of January. So I was planning on taking him this week, but it all worked out well, last week. So we braved the cold and the storm, got up there safely, and just had a great time. Took the 2 oldest kids, and they had a great time being up in the snow, 2 days of skiing. I think by the end of the second day, they were pretty tired and ready to come back home. But it was just fun, just to kind of get out there, kick the new year off right.
Nice, dude. Well, I think that kind of lends itself to what we wanted to talk about today anyways. And it was just, it's the beginning of the year, it's setting goals, but how do you not renege on those? And kind of what are some of the things we've hit in the past in some of our episodes in terms of goal setting and being motivated, all that kind of stuff. But I think today is really about maintaining that and staying there, right? Is how do we, as being fit for life, right? What do we do to do that? And I think one of the great examples is exactly what you talked about, right? It wasn't just let's just hang out as a family. It's let's go do something that's awesome as a family, right? And if you can't go skiing,
active, right? And just moving, right?
Exactly right. Like for us, one of the things that really helps, like ingrain it, I guess is probably the right word to say it, is making it a choice always, right? Like putting it for like our family is making it so it's on the forefront. And I'll tell you, Kelly's going to kill me for saying this, but like you heard prior to this recording, I use the term diet and she's like, no, I'm just eating better, whatever. But after the holidays, like I didn't gain any weight. Like, I maintained and did all my stuff and I didn't have to get back in shape or do anything. And we talked about this leading into it, but the whole idea of making this a conscious decision all the time, I think is really important, and not making it a fad where you kind of put the goal on, it's New Year's, it's summer, it's, whatever it is, not setting a goal for a particular period, but making it active for your entire life. And I'm just going to offer it to you, like kind of, what are your thoughts on that? And is it similar to kind of what you think, or, what do you?
So I guess my mindset, mentally at the beginning of the year isn't like, okay, now I got to, go on this certain diet or whatever. It's just kind of sticking with the regular thing. I'm not making new resolutions or anything for that. It's just like, hey, I still want to go out and, run every day. I want to go swimming. I ran, actually I ran twice this morning. It's just the kind of the way it worked out. And I went for a swim in between. So I'm still off work for a few days, which is good. So there's gonna be a little more time to do that, but it's just maintaining those routines and those habits. And once you get into that, and then you feel so good, it's like you don't want to not do it, right? Because it's just if you don't do it, you start feeling kind of crappy and maybe a little guilty or something. and then you're like, oh, I got to get back into this routine. You just do it to where every day, when you go work out or you're eating healthier, and it's just, you feel so good. You want to keep that going.
Absolutely. And I think like for me, I was thinking about this because we did have pie and all the other kind of stuff. But I think also for me is that like, I don't feel good if I eat a lot of that stuff a lot of the time. Right. So like I notice immediately, like after I eat pie, like I'll get tired.
Yeah. Or like, I feel my glycemic, or glucose like just spiking. And it's kind of like, it's just weird kind of like head rush kind of thing. And it's just, it doesn't feel right. It's like your body's not used to it. So then it's like, okay, maybe have, the next day, maybe another piece or something, and maybe even the third day a little bit. But then once it's gone, it's kind of a relief almost. It's like, okay, good. Get back to feeling more normal now, I guess.
100%. I think that's totally right. And like for us, it's funny because like usually we have quite a few people in for Christmas, but we had weird flight issues. And honestly, only my mother-in-law came in this year, Ellen. And it was funny because I watched, and I think this is like a good indicator for the year too. Like she came out here and she adjusted her eating habits around us. So like she's typically getting up in the morning and she is one of those people that has like coffee for breakfast, right? Which is not like, whatever your beliefs are for breakfast. I'm not sure that having a really acidic beverage of any kind to start your day, period, is probably the best way. But she came out here and started having oatmeal every day, some eggs, changed her lifestyle up. And literally within a couple of days, she was already commenting on she had more energy and she felt better. And so I think
that's awesome. That's
huge.
cool.
And I think that it goes back to like when you're setting the goals or whatever you want to do this year and you're setting your fitness, level, let's call it that. I think it helps to just maintain that whole belief the entire time and not fluctuate, right? Like if I was to say, on Thursdays, I'm going to have an off day or whatever. I think to me, having something that prescriptive would ruin it for me. Like if I want to eat, like let's say we go out to breakfast, we have a great place here called Snooze. If I want to go out eat at Snooze, I am not going to hold myself back. I'm going to get a heavier meal, but I know I don't eat that every day. So I don't care if it's a cheat day or whatever. I just know that, okay, tomorrow I got to make up for it. Like I don't judge it on like one day a week I get this and 2 days I get this. It's just maintaining it, right? I mean, what are your, like, how do you?
Yeah. And you're not necessarily counting calories. Like I don't count calories at all.
Never.
I know that used to be a very big thing. I think it still is in some cases, but based on all the research I've done and just practice, it's like, I don't look at calories at all. I mean, I go for higher protein, higher good fats, lower carbs. It's not necessarily lower carbs, it's lower, refined sugars, right?
Yeah, big time.
So, it's like I said, with a big meal like that, it's like I'll kind of prepare kind of work my fitness schedule maybe around that. So if we're going to go out to, which we don't go out to breakfast very, very often, but when we do, then I'll be okay. Early in the morning, I'm getting up earlier and I'm going to go for my run or my bike ride or workout. Whatever. And then I go into that breakfast and I'm like starving, right? And then I'm super hungry and eat a ton. And then you just have to expect, maybe the rest of that morning or into the afternoon that you're going to maybe be a little lethargic. You're going to feel full. You're not going to feel like doing much, right? So it's a good time to recover or just do some light, maybe some walking or just some, walk around the house or play with the kids or whatever.
Totally. And I think that's a really cool point. Just to be like allowing yourself to not feeling guilty of it. Right. Because I think one of the things that like one of our friends here, Jennifer, is on this massive juice cleanse and she did one before Christmas and right after. And so what I think is like, if you keep going to those extremes where like, I'm going to go on a solid juice fast, like I think if you start too early and too hard, you can't maintain, right? If you can't go from eating everything you want to a juice fast and then expect to get right back somewhere in the middle. It's not how your body works, at least in my experience. It's like you either gradually go down and you adjust, you start working out more. But I think a lot of these extremes that people take aren't healthy, like, especially if your body's not used to it. What are your thoughts on that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's why I know people that have done those, juice cleanses, more to lose weight. And they've done those for maybe like 2 weeks at a time or even up to like a month at a time.
Whoa.
Every day, that's all right? It's like the veggies and maybe some fruits. But it works, right? For a lot of people, it works very well. And then But the key to that, I think, is when you get through those 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever that period is, then you get into, establishing those healthier eating habits, right? Whether it's with salads or just, lower sugar intake, right? Things like that, instead of going back to how you were eating maybe before.
Stay tuned for part 2 of starting New Year right and crushing your goals and your health this year.